maybe start by describing your concept to me for your new line.
Well, I think it all started when I but figured out what was really important to me. And I think being an artist is really important to me and expressing that level of security with myself. And I just feel like there's not one brand that you can go to and expect to see what makes you comfortable. So I knew that when I did something new, I wanted it to be like a palette cleanser, something to start over, because I feel like when I started, I was really young. I was 16. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't think there's any time or place where in your career, in your life, when you're completely content. Well, for me, I don't want to be content. I think pushing myself is what forces me to keep changing, which is good. So I say that all to say that I want people to be drawn to my brand because they see a part of themselves in what I do. So I don't want my collection or my work to be specific to one person. I want that person to be able to experience what they want to experience from my label, buy clothes, buy products, buy shoes, buy bags in the future, and know that they've created a look that's unique to their identity and not necessarily the brand having its own identity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So you were talking about finding comfort in your clothing, and you also said that you started when you were 16.
Right.
Is there, what's the most drastic thing that you found in your line of clothing in comparison to then and now?
Drastic difference?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. My very first collection was blessed. I didn't know anything about fabric. I didn't know anything about construction. I didn't know anything about pattern making. I just knew that I liked clothes and I liked to see people express themselves with clothes. And I designed based on that. But there was no point of view. There was no vision. There was no concept. It was just, there it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's to the trained eye, because there's a level of training that I've had being in school, I know that really wasn't a collection. It was just a series of clothing put together on our runway. That I created. Well, actually, I didn't even create it. It was actually a seamstress that I had because I didn't know how to sew. I'm still in the process of learning how to sew and learning how to draft and pattern make and cut and everything. But it was, So I think now I just want to definitely, everything I do, I want to have a very serious meaning and concept. And whether or not that gets out to everyone else, that's not important to me. As long as I feel like, as an artist, I'm true to myself. Because I was saying to my cousin the other day that, this is going to sound bad, but being a fashion designer isn't like anything profound to me. I just feel like you don't, with the way that it's created, with the way that the fashion industry is kind of become so saturated, it's almost like you are a fashion designer if you dress really well and you can design something and then someone in another country mass produces it, kind of thing. So like everyone becomes a fashion designer. Whereas there's no real purpose for you to be in it. Like, why are you in that industry? What's your vision and what's your purpose to exist, really? And I think I know my purpose now, which I'm very grateful for, but I now know that every single thing I do from now on, I want to meet that purpose. So I just feel more fulfilled. I don't feel like, oh, I'm just sketching every day and this is amazing. But yeah.
So your purpose, would you define that as you're wanting to give people that level of comfort with themselves
for
your brand?
Yeah, that's exactly it. For my brand, I want people to, I think, being exposed in the last 3 to 4 years with a variety of different people and different backgrounds and, people that just aren't like me. I think that it's interesting. I think in society, as humans, we naturally compartmentalize things. We naturally put things in boxes. And I think it's strange because there's no one person that's the same. And in school, my school, we're taught, compartmentalize things so we can market it and produce for that person or for that brand. It's called like a customer profile. You make a profile of your know, your ideal person. And I just, one with the economy, not that I know everything, but I just feel like if I'm targeting one group of people, I would be broke and hungry forever. And that's just not the plan. But I also feel like, why limit myself? I mean, I respect a customer profile. I do it every day at school. I respect it. It's a system that works. The fashion industry is a lucrative business that's doing well globally. But for me, and as I said, for my personal purpose and what I've decided is important to me, it's just not interesting to me. It can't be too easy.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be something that, like, I've never seen done before, or I feel like it has to be something different for me, or else